about 5.25 miles, just a little over, at about an 8:27 this morning. Easy run done on this beautiful Friday morning, and I was super blessed enough to have been invited to go run with my friend Sarah, who I run with 1 to 2 times a week, and a new friend, Nami, who just finished running the Boston Marathon. And so I got to meet her, and she runs at a great pace. And so I'm very excited to have another running buddy because, as Sarah and I were talking about, running's a lot more fun with other people because you get to have great conversations, and the time passes so much faster while you're catching up from the week or just sharing some thoughts. Not that you can't have a great conversation with yourself in your own mind, but you've probably had that conversation plenty of times, and so it's fun to have some training partners throughout the week. Um, Today I want to talk a little bit about equipment. Beautiful thing about running is that it doesn't require a ton of equipment. You literally need running shoes. Now, of course, there's other things that you can get that may, we'll say, enhance the experience. And I've learned that having a few different, I guess they don't have to be different, but a few pairs of shoes in the rotation is really, really helpful. And in my journey, I've found that there's a few different pairs of shoes that I really like to wear, depending on what I'm doing that day, whether it's an easy run, a long run, a tempo run, or a speed or strength run. And so I'm just kind of share those with you so that maybe you get some ideas that may help you out. Now, easy paced runs. I've been running in actually these Hokas. These are the Hoka Clifton 8s. I really like these. They're extremely comfortable. They're very, very easy to run in. You can put a lot of miles on them, and it's like running on some pillows. And so this is actually my second pair of Clifton 8s. I like them so much. And what you'll find is that I like to buy previous year's shoes because I don't want to spend $200 on a pair of running shoes. That's just not where I'm at, especially if I'm going to buy multiple pairs of running shoes. And so I will go and I'll find a deal on the previous year's model so that I can buy them for under $100. And so again, the Clifton 8s, the first pair that I bought, I bought them for full price. I want to say they were like $140, $150. I was able to get these for just under $100, which is fantastic. Um, the other pair of shoes that I have, and so I use those for my easy days. I don't feel like I need to run quickly. I just need to get some miles in at a good solid pace. I've also been turned on by a friend of mine to these. These are the Nike Zoom, I believe the Invincibles. And these are a very, very comfortable shoe. I'll say they're a little bit more springy than the Hokas, but they have a ton of cushioning. And they did take a little bit longer to get used to for me. But now that I've gotten them broken in, they're very, very comfortable shoes. So I use these on my other long runs. And so I kind of rotate between those and the Hokas. For my long runs, I've been kind of going back and forth between, these are the Saucony, I think I said that right, Saucony Endorphin Speeds 2. Again, previous year's model because I wanted to get a discount. Actually, I got these for $70 at a local store, which was a deal and a half. These are usually in the 100 and I don't know, 50, 60, $70 range. And so getting them for $70 was a killer deal. You'll also notice that I care nothing about what they look like because I'm going to trash them on my runs, and I only care about functionality. And that's just the way I've always been when I've played basketball. When I buy basketball shoes, it's the ugly shoes that are functional, that are high price shoes that are discounted because they're the ugly duckling. And I will buy those kind of shoes all day long. Um, so the endorphin speeds, I'm looking at replacing these sometime soon. And so I'm kind of perusing the internet to find me a good solid deal. And for my race day, my speed days, my tempo days, I wear the Saucony Endorphin Pros. These are also the twos, again, because they're a previous year's brand. These are super springy, so the difference between the speeds and the pros, the speeds have a nylon plate in them, and so they add a little bit more spring than, let's say, are my easy run shoes, and so I feel a little bit more springy. Whereas the Endorphin Pros have a carbon plate inside of them, and the carbon plate is really really nice because it definitely adds a lot more spring. So they're a little bit stiffer, but they will spring you along in your run. And so I've got a couple pairs of these. This is actually my second pair of the Endorphin Pros, and I like them so much that I bought another pair. And there may be a little bit um, of comfort because it is what I ran my first marathon in. Were a pair of these, just in a different color, and so there's a little bit of maybe like nostalgia, or there's I know what I'm getting. I've heard people talk about all kinds of different shoes, and every shoe brand has their comfort shoe and their midline shoe and their race day shoe. This is Saucony's race day shoe. Of course, they're out with the Endorphin Pro 3s, which is fantastic for me because that means I'm going to go buy some Endorphin Pro 2s for a cheaper price. So those are my shoes that I like to keep in rotation. My watch, I have a what is this brand? A Garmin Fenix 6. I love this watch. I love the app that goes along with the my phone. It allows me to put in my training paces, and so it keeps me accountable with some beeps and some buzzers. Sometimes when I'm running too slow, or if I'm running too fast for my pace, and so this Garmin's been a real upgrade from my Apple Watch that I used to have previously. My Apple Watch would die on me on some of my long runs, and it was super frustrating. And so I upgraded to the Garmin. This has got like it'll be good for 3 days, 4 days without a charge if I needed it to. I've got my shorts. These are High shorts. I think they just went out of business, which is really sad for me. But some 5-inch shorts, which is great. And I've got my skull cap, and sometimes I have a running warehouse hat, just depending on if I'm trying to keep my ears cold or not. And last but not least, I've got my sunglasses. These are Goodr sunglasses, Goodr, Goodr. Let's see if you can see that. Boom. And I love these purely because I lose sunglasses. And so I used to buy really expensive sunglasses like Oakley's and that kind of stuff, and I would sit on them, lose them, scratch them, and you go and you spend $100, $120, $150 on a pair of sunglasses, and you jack them up. It's really, really frustrating. Well, Goodr, these sunglasses are really good. They don't bounce. They're extremely light. They are They've got the coating on it. I can't remember what the coating is that reduces glare when you're running, and they're like $25. And so I've got multiple pairs of these just all over the place, and so I can just grab my sunglasses and I can go and I can take off on my runs. If I lose them, like there's no heartbreak. If I sit on them, I'm not worried about it. And so, yeah, sunglasses are super duper important, especially in the Sacramento summer heat. All right, well, that's my equipment for the day, or I guess for my runs. Um, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. And again, remember, you guys, it's all about consistency. It's not about perfection. So get out there, put together a plan, stay consistent with that plan, and go be amazing. All right, love you all.